student representatives vote. Young adult and student representatives have an advisory vote, which is not quite the same as a regular vote. When a recommendation is of special interest to the representatives, they tell the moderator. The moderator will invite them to raise their voting cards for or against the recommendation. This vote advises or lets commissioners know their opinion of the recommendation. Thus, we call it an advisory vote. It's not counted in the final tally. Whenever the Assembly uses the consensus-building decision-making process, young adult and student representatives are welcome to fully participate. What is a consent recommendation? A consent recommendation is one that proposes the adoption of some of the report's recommendations, all at once, and without discussion. The process is used when the subject of a recommendation is considered straightforward and discussion is probably not needed. Have a look at the report summaries. If a report has a consent recommendation, it will be indicated at the beginning of the summary and denoted by a triangular symbol. There you will see the list of recommendations that are intended to be voted on altogether and without discussion. If you want any of these recommendations to be discussed and voted on in the usual way, go to a microphone and ask that the recommendation be removed from the list. You do that as soon as the consent recommendation is placed before the Assembly. How do I amend a recommendation? If you want to amend a recommendation, you write on an amendment form the change you want to propose. The Committee on Business will have a supply of these forms. By the way, that committee will be sitting at a long table in front of the moderator and the clerks. Once the recommendation you want to amend is moved and seconded and discussion has begun, you may go to the microphone and let the moderator know you have an amendment. Your amendment will be projected on a large screen for everyone to see. The moderator may take a moment to determine if the amendment is in order. If it's deemed to be in order, you'll be given an opportunity to explain why you think your amendment is necessary. The amendment can add words, delete words, replace words to the original recommendation. May I bring new business to the Assembly? The only business considered by the Assembly is the business contained in the reports. A new recommendation called an additional motion might be ruled in order or allowed by the moderator if the motion closely relates to the substance of the report being discussed. On the rare occasion, a commissioner may present what's called a commissioner's overture. A commissioner's overture might be allowed by the moderator if it addresses a serious matter that could not have been foreseen and included in a report or overture prior to the Assembly. Will my presbytery tell me how to vote on issues? Your presbytery should not tell you how to vote on issues. You've been commissioned by your presbytery to attend the General Assembly. You're not a delegate representing a specific body or point of view. Instead, you're a church leader striving to discern the will of God with other commissioners. When commissioners come together, they seek to be open to the leading of the Holy Spirit and discern God's will through prayer and discussion. If you come to the General Assembly with your mind already made up, or with pressure to vote in a certain way, this diminishes the possibility of being open to the guidance of the Spirit.